Today I am here for third year zoology honor students. You will be learning DNA damage and repair mechanisms. As per the syllabus of University of Gaurbanga, this is in 10th paper, Unit 1, Molecular Biology. To understand the DNA repair mechanisms, you need to be familiar with the basic types of DNA damage. Damage to DNA consists of any change that introduces a deviation from the usual double helical structure of DNA. So there are some factors, that is ubiquitous environmental factors and aggressive endogenous factors produced by our metabolism, which are responsible for the damage to DNA. DNA damage is a spontaneous process and the cell has the capability to restore the usual double helical structure of DNA. So DNA is the only macromolecule which is repaired by the cell. So there are three categories of repair mechanisms. The first one is damage reversal. In case of damage reversal, the enzymatic action restores the normal usual structure of DNA without breaking the backbone. The second one is damage removal. In case of damage removal, the cutting out and replacing the inappropriate or damaged base or a segment of nucleotides occurs. So the normal structure is restored. In case of the third one, that is damage tolerance, coping up with the damage occurs so that the life can go on. Now, DNA damage is an alteration in the chemical structure of DNA, such as a break in a strand or a base missing from the backbone. There are some basic differences between DNA damage and mutation. DNA damage is the physical abnormality, but mutation is a change in the base sequence of the DNA. DNA damage can be repaired if redundant information such as the undamaged sequence in the complementary DNA strand or in a homologous chromosome is available for copying, but a mutation can't be repaired. Damage can be recognized by enzymes, but mutation cannot be recognized. Once the base change is present in both the strands of DNA. Damage may occur under the influence of exogenous factors as well as endogenous factors that I have said earlier. The exogenous factors are from environmental origin, so that is external to the cell, but endogenous factors are potentially aggressive agents produced by normal cell metabolism. So there are different types of DNA damage: single strand break, mismatch, damaged base, double strand break, intra-strand crosslink and inter-strand crosslink. Single base alteration, that is single strand break, is due to depurination, deamination of cytosine to uracil, deamination of adenine to hypoxanthine, alkylation of base, insertion or deletion of nucleotide, base analog incorporation. Base analog is a foreign word for us. You can ask, what is base analog? Base analogs are chemicals structurally resemble purine and pyrimidine and may be incorporated into DNA in place of the normal bases during DNA replication, such as, bromouracil, which is artificially created, extensively used in research. It resembles thymine and will be incorporated into DNA and paired with adenine like thymine. And the base analog is also aminopurine. It is adenine analog which can pair with thymine. So this is base analog, and the base alteration is also due to UV light. UV light introduced thymine-thymine dimer formation, bifunctional alkylating agent, cross linkage, and the chain break due to ionizing radiation. You can see there is a single strand break and there is a double strand break. So this is due to radioactive disintegration of backbone element or oxidative free radical formation. And there are also cross linkages, intrastrand and interstrand. When the cross linkage is between bases in same strand, then it is called intrastrand, and when it occurs between opposite strands, then it is called interstrand crosslink. There is an additional information, that is, in case of sickle cell anemia, you can notice the point mutation occurs. That is, in case of adenine, thiamine appears. In case of sickle cell anemia, and which binds to adenine. It is caused by a point mutation in the beta hemoglobin gene that converts a GAG codon into a GUG, which encodes the amino acid valine instead of glutamic acid. So, in this condition, normal protein is produced, but after the mutation, sickle cell anemia appears and the mutant protein is produced through a point mutation. This is a memory fact, not more than that. If you understand the repair mechanism, the DNA repair mechanism properly, you should be familiar with the different nitrogenous bases of DNA. There are 4 nitrogenous bases found in DNA, that is adenine, cytosine, guanine and thymine. The structures are like that. So this is the 4 nitrogenous bases found in DNA. The thymine dimer is molecular lesson formed from thymine bases in DNA via photochemical reaction. That is, UV light induces the formation of covalent linkage between consecutive bases along the nucleotide chain in the vicinity of their CC double bond. That is, there are 2 thymine. We have already seen in the previous slide the structure of thymine, and when they forms dimer, this is called thymine dimer. It may be repaired by 2 molecular mechanisms. In case of photoreactivation repair, the PRE, that is PRE enzyme activated by blue light breaks the dimer. The PRE enzyme activated by the blue light breaks the dimer and normal pairing restored, so dimer repaired. In excision repair, the UVR system, that is produced by UVR gene, excises the dimer. The gap is filled in by the proofreading activity by DNA polymerase 1. The DNA polymerase is a type of enzyme that is responsible for forming new copies of DNA in a form of nucleic acid molecules. DNA polymerase was purified by Arthur Kornberg in 1955 from E. coli, now known as DNA polymerase 1. So DNA polymerase 1 is called the Kornberg enzyme, and after that DNA ligase seals the gap and normal pairing is restored. So what are the changes seen in damaged DNA? Xeroderma pigmentosum is the result of thymine dimer formation because of sunlight exposure. Here we can see there are two molecules of thymine. After UV radiation, thymine dimer is formed, and the Xeroderma pigmentosum, the inherited condition, is caused by mutation in the gene that are involved in repairing damaged DNA. Many of the genes related to Xeroderma pigmentosum are part of a DNA repair process, that is nucleotide excision repair. Xeroderma pigmentosum is an inherited condition characterized by an extreme sensitivity to UV rays from sunlight. So DNA repair is a collection of processes by which a cell identifies and corrects damage to the DNA molecule that encode its genome. In human cells, both normal metabolic activities and environmental factors such as UV light, radiation can cause DNA damage. I have already said earlier, resulting in as many as 1 million individual molecular lesions per day. Many of these lesions cause structural damage to the DNA molecule and can alter or eliminate the cell's ability to transcribe the gene that the affected DNA encodes. So, DNA repair, there are different repair mechanisms which are stimulated by single strand damage and double strand breaks. Single strand damage can be repaired by reverse process or excision process. The mismatches are mainly corrected by excision repair. There are two types of excision repair in your syllabus, that is base excision repair and nucleotide excision repair. And the double strand breaks are repaired by non-homologous recombination and homologous recombination. At first, you will be learning the base excision repair. This repair involves the direct removal of the damaged base from DNA. This serves as the trigger to activate the enzymes that excise and replace a stretch of DNA, including the damaged site. Enzymes that removes bases from DNA are called glycosylases. Point it, glycosylases. DNA glycosylases are responsible for initial recognition of the lesion. They flip the damaged base out of the double helix and cleave the N-glycosidic bond of the damaged base, leaving an AP site, that is a purinic site or a pyrimidinic site. So this is the flow chart of base excision repair. Here a apurinic or apyrimidinic site is created. The damaged or inappropriate base is removed from its sugar linkage and replaced. These are glycosylase enzymes which can cut the base sugar bond and removes the unwanted base. Here the base is uracil. Uracil is not supposed to be in DNA, but it can occur if the RNA primers are not removed in DNA replication or if cytosine is deaminated. The enzyme recognizes the uracil and cuts the glycosyl linkage to deoxyribose. The sugar is then cleaved and a new base put in by DNA polymerase using other strand as template. And the gap is filled by the DNA polymerase. It adds new DNA and seals the gap by ligase. So the damage is repaired and the original or the normal sequence is restored. The nucleotide excision repair differs from base excision repair in several ways. It uses different enzymes, even though there may be only a single base that is inappropriate. To correct, its nucleotide is removed along with many other adjacent nucleotides. That is, NER removes a large patch around the damage. In NER, a multi-subunit enzyme hydrolyzes two phosphodiester bond, one on either side of the distortion caused by the lesion, resulting in gap filled by DNA polymerase and finally DNA ligase. As in the base excision repair, it seals the nick. In case of nucleotide excision repair, the system works on DNA damage which is bulky and creates a block to DNA replication and transcription. It probably recognizes not a specific structure but a distortion in the double helix. The mechanism consists of cleavage of the DNA strand containing the damage by endonucleases on either side of damage, followed by exonuclease removal of a short segment containing the damaged region. DNA polymerase can fill the gap, and in the picture you can see there are some damaged nucleotide which are removed by a set of enzymes, that is UVR A, UVR B and UVR C, and the segment is removed so that the original segment is replicated by DNA polymerase 1 and the nick is sealed by DNA ligase. So this is the nucleotide excision repair. That's all for today. Thank you.